Community outreach. What is that? Well, it's a division of the Solid Waste Management Department that was created just for you. And on today's show, we're talking about it. Community outreach. Stay tuned. We're out here in the field rolling out the recycling carts so you can recycle curbside. I've been hosting this show for a little over 3 years now, and it suddenly occurred to me that I've never talked about the connection that I have to the Solid Waste Department. So today on Wasting No Time, we're featuring guests from the Community Outreach Division. That's where I work. Now, Community Outreach is probably one of our lesser known sections, but it's just as important as any other branch of our department, right? So I wanted to put our group up to the glass window and let you peek in, because after all, that's why I'm here. I've extended an invitation to my supervisor, Elise Coffey, and she's gracefully accepted. Elise, thank you for being here today.
It's my pleasure, Sharon.
Tell me, what is community outreach?
To me, community outreach is the public face of the Solid Waste Department. We don't collect your trash, yard waste, or any of those materials, but we are the ones who go out and interface with the community through community meetings, health fairs, super neighborhood meetings. We have neighborhood cleanups that we assist with. We help people solve their problems in their neighborhoods as relates to trash and garbage.
That sounds kind of like a PR department. Is that the same thing as a PR?
I consider the PR section of our department to be the group responsible for public information that is printed or media related, or even in designing our flyers or handouts. The community outreach section is the group that goes out to face talk to people about a complaint in their neighborhood, to make a presentation at an elementary school about recycling. It's a little bit different to me.
How many people do you have on your staff?
I have 4 people on my staff right now.
Okay, and when you say we go out to the community, we have school presentations, how does one get it? How does a citizen find out how to connect to the Community Outreach Division?
Well, there's several ways. If you're not an internet savvy person, you can always call 311 and, for instance, request a speaker or for a presentation at an elementary school. You can request mascots. You can request information, handouts. Maybe you need to help your neighborhood understand better when their heavy trash is collected, when their tree waste is collected, or maybe you need a brochure of some kind that describes all of our services. You can get that by calling 311, or you can go online to the Solid Waste website and find the same information.
How long have you been on the community outreach staff as a manager?
This group has been here for 5 years.
Okay. And how important is it, do you think, for us to have what we call a community outreach division? Why is that necessary in solid waste?
Sometimes people have chronic problems in their neighborhood, for instance, illegal dumping. They don't always know how to begin to get rid of that problem or what's available to help them get rid of that kind of problem. Sometimes people want to organize a neighborhood cleanup, or maybe they want to beautify an esplanade, or maybe they want to just delitter some of the streets in their area. Well, we're the group that can help them get the supplies, help them understand how to advertise and recruit their volunteers, and how to execute those kinds of events. I think we fill a gap for people who want to help their neighborhood be more clean or more beautiful, and they're not sure how to go about doing that, and they don't know what kinds of resources are available.
See, I think that people maybe didn't know that we were around for a while, but we do a lot more than just reach out to the community. Can you talk to us about maybe how do we fit in the disasters? Where do we come in? Are we important there? Do we matter?
In the last hurricane, the community outreach group was responsible for helping senior citizens and those who were homebound but had damage that they could not handle themselves. For instance, maybe a tree fell in their yard. Maybe there was damage to their home and they needed someone to come and help them take care of that. The community outreach group was a part of those who went out to do that, working with several other agencies in the city, the Area Agency on Aging, the Mayor's Office of Volunteers. We created a way to go in and identify those kinds of concerns and then get those concerns taken care of. That's one way we do it, but we also do presentations to corporations around sustainability issues and recycling and environmental responsibility. I think that that's important as well, that we get to people in the workforce as well as elementary school age children.
So we just kind of run the gamut. Community outreach is probably that bubble where we can kind of do a little bit of something of everything for everybody depending upon what the needs are. Would you think on some level?
On some level. Some problems we can't solve. And for some problems there is no answer that is going to make you happy. We don't have a magic bullet to stop illegal dumping, for instance. We have some things in place working with other departments like the Department of Neighborhoods, Police Department, to help abate illegal dumping, but it's a hard one to really solve permanently. Sometimes the information we have is not read, so we have to help neighborhoods create other ways of getting information to their residents that they, in a way they can understand and will use. We don't have all the answers, but we are here to help, and that's our goal.
I like that. We're here to help, and that's what people don't know about us.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the school presentations. Are there any restrictions, limitations that we put up on those type of presentations? What's that?
Our school presentations are really geared for children who are ages 4 through like 10, and they can range from 15 minutes to 30 minutes depending on how much time the group has, how many children are involved. We do those presentations in elementary schools, we do it at city parks. We've even done some Bible school presentations when the theme was environmental responsibility. That is the age group for the schools.
And then corporate presentations. Got to talk about that.
Corporate presentations is wide open. If you have a lunch bunch group that wants to hear about recycling in the city or environmental responsibility, we will cater pretty much to your time frame. Generally, we need about 20 to 30 minutes at least in order to make it worthwhile for those who are listening as well as for us when we're presenting. There's no fee for any of the services I've talked about.
That was going to be my next question. So we're talking absolutely free.
Yes, absolutely free.
When we go out to these presentations, what's our main goal? What's the topic? What's the issue? What are we trying to get out to the community?
We want people to be aware of what services are available and what locations are available, particularly when it comes to things you don't put in your regular household trash. Where do you take your old television? What should I do with this old phone? Those kinds of things, helping them understand electronics should not go in your trash. Here are places you can take them free. Also to tell them where they can take junk waste during a time when it is not their month to receive junk waste collection. We have 7 locations in this city where people can take those things for free. They just have to show a driver's license and a utility bill with the same address on it, but a lot of people don't know that. And another big problem we have has to do with tires. You can put tires out when it's your junk waste collection month, but anytime you can take tires to one of our neighborhood depositories, up to 10 at a time. People don't know that. Part of our group's responsibility is to help educate.
I'm going to stop us there and try to bring on some more of our crew, but I like that community outreach. We're here to educate. Will you come back and see us? I'm going to kind of tie the set in later. Stay around?
Sure, I will.
Okay. Thank you, Elise. Stay tuned. More community outreach when we return. I've invited the entire group of the Community Outreach Division to the set today to talk a little bit about what it is that we do and how we assist the community with solid waste matters. We're small in number, but we still manage to get the job done. Earlier we spoke to my supervisor, and now I'm reaching out to my co-workers to discuss their positions and talk about what it is that they do. Javier Frutos and Desmond Allen are here. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Javier, you are a community liaison?
Yes.
Tell me what that is exactly.
Well, I represent our department, and then at the same time I represent the neighborhoods. So we're kind of like the middleman, and we go out to the neighborhoods and speak to them. So we liaison between the department and the neighborhoods.
Kind of get the word back and forth to
Yes.
one another. What about you, Desmond? In Community Involvement Coordinator, is that right? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you haven't been with us that long.
No, ma'am.
What does your job entail?
My job basically entails, just like Javier said, we're kind of the middleman between the community and between our department, the Solid Waste Management Department. We kind of play that role If you call 311, if you need answers, if you have questions, if you forget things, we're kind of that person that'll kind of remind you and get you right back focused and back on track.
What's your perspective, and I'm going to stay on just a little bit, one more time. What's your perspective of the department having just come in? I think you've only been here, what, a year now?
Yes, ma'am, about a year and a
Congratulations
half.
on making your year and a half. What's your perspective of community outreach? Did you know this department, even this division existed?
Actually, before I started working here, no, I didn't.
Okay.
I definitely think the community outreach department is great and is essential to the function of the solid waste management department. A lot of people have questions and need answers, and they don't know how to get those answers. So we're kind of that outlet. We kind of help people, keep people on track, kind of get them back where they need. Also, we come out and speak to the community. We come out, we participate in community cleanups and that type of thing. We're kind of that middleman. We're kind of that outlet, that hand that you might need if you need to get things in order in your community.
Very good. Javier, ¿te hablas español, sí?
Sí,
es
claro.
muy importante para la ciudad de Houston, ¿correcto?
Sí, es muy importante. Tú también hablas muy bien el
Solamente un
español.
poquito, pero let's go back to English. So, talk to the people and tell them why it's important that you are bilingual to reach out to the community.
Well, the storm just happened. And there's a lot of folks out there that don't necessarily speak English. And so it's very important for someone to be out there to kind of guide them on the do's and don'ts, especially in a disaster relief time. We have a lot of, obviously this is Houston, a very diverse city, and we have a lot of people that speak Spanish, and so it's important to have people in the department that, like me, that are bilingual and speak.
So you're our bilingual connection, so if they need translation, you can get there, you can make them understand and help them to understand as well. Now, how important is it for you all, from your opinion, and either one of you can answer this, to have, I asked this question of Elise, but how important is the community outreach division? I mean, from your perspective, from the inside out.
Well, it's very important. Like I was saying, in the Latino community, a lot of information is not given to them. And so for me, it's my passion to give that information to them, whether it is a community cleanup, your regular schedule, or in a disaster relief as well. It's very,
Desmond,
very important.
what's your perspective on that?
I agree. I think we play an essential part in the solid waste management department. Just as I stated earlier, we're kind of that middleman. Some people don't know what to do. Sometimes when your trash is missing, you don't know how to get in contact with people to get your trash back picked up. Sometimes you might move into a new area and you just don't know the day that your trash is supposed to be picked up. So after you call 311, we definitely get in contact with you and connect with you and kind of get you on the same page as our department.
Now, like some of the things that you said, any given day, what comes across your desk? Javier, what type of a service do you have to do for the city, maybe?
Well, I run different programs. There's a tire roundup program that I do all over the city of Houston. We like to abate the issue of illegally dumped tires.
They never die, right? The tires never die.
They're everywhere. And as you know, tires, they are a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes, and they house snakes, rats, those types of critters and bugs. And it's also a nuisance for neighborhoods. So I want to make sure that your neighborhood is clean and free of tires.
So you actually help with that. Desmond, what about you? On any given day, what type of assignment would you handle for the city and for the community?
One thing that I thoroughly enjoy about our job is there's no typical day in the community outreach department. We're kind of a jack of all trades. You might come in Monday and you might have a boatload of SRs. We attend to each one of those SRs individually and try to get them addressed.
Let me stop you there.
Yes, ma'am.
What is an SR? The community won't know.
SR is a service request. Whenever you call 311, they generally make a service request. Depending on what your request is, it gets dispatched to different departments. We're the community outreach division, so if you guys have any questions, it'll get dispatched to us. So you might start your day off with SRs, but you're definitely not going to end it that way. A lot of times we go on what we call ride-alongs. So we might ride through the community with one of the police officers in the community and come up with a game plan to address certain issues. We go through illegal dumping issues. We have our tire roundups that Javier organizes. We kind of attack those issues and kind of beat them head on.
What have you found most interesting about the Solid Waste Community Outreach Division? Javier, let me start with you.
Well, for example, one of the other programs that I run is the Rebuilding Together Houston program. For example, the Rebuilding Together Houston program, we work very close with Rebuilding Together Houston by assisting trash collection when Rebuilding Together Houston is fixing houses for the elderly. And so, for example, I grab some of our drivers and employees from the solid waste department, and we go out and fix houses for the elderly and the veterans. And when we finish fixing their houses for free, they come up to me and they say, I didn't know the city does this. Well, we don't necessarily do this. We just partner with different organizations to assist, to be of good heart, and to assist in your home. And so they're in awe that the Solid Waste Management Department would have someone like that or a section like that that would actually go out to the community and fix houses.
That's a very good point, that we don't do it, but we do partner. The city finds ways to partnership with other people and other individuals or corporations or whatever to get things done.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, Desmond? What do you think is one of the most important things that you do to reach out to the community?
One of the things that I thoroughly enjoy, and I think is definitely an essential function of community outreach, is participating in community cleanups. A lot of times you'll have members of the community that want to take action and want to do things about cleaning up their community. And that's kind of where we play a role. We have what's called our dumpster program. You can request a dumpster, and we'll come out on a Friday and set that dumpster, and on the Saturday normally is when the cleanup is executed. I definitely enjoy getting out there, kind of getting my hands dirty, getting in the community and helping make the community a cleaner and safer place.
I'm laughing because I can't imagine you getting your hands dirty. You look so nice today,
Yes,
but you literally get out there and help. I want to talk about that dumpster program. I think that is for like nonprofits and for civic organizations,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So you can't just, regular citizens not saying, hey, can I have a dumpster?
No, ma'am. You
Okay.
have to be a part of a nonprofit or a civic organization, and it has to be approved.
And I think and that goes along the line of the same thing about what you were saying. I think we work well with Keep Houston Beautiful with that program, with the dumpster program, right? We kind of come
Work
together
hand
on
in
that.
hand. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there something maybe that the citizens don't know about community outreach that maybe one of you would like to let them know, or maybe an important factoid that they need to know that maybe is not out there in the paper or something?
Well, we like promoting recycling.
Okay.
And so we go to the schools. My passion is, part of what I do is also with you, Sharon, as well. So we go out to the schools and we present to the kids and teach the kids how to recycle, when to recycle, what items, where do they go, and all that stuff. When we finish these presentations, they're so excited. They go back home and they tell their parents. And their parents, they're maybe throwing away those items. And now the kids are, wait, mom, stop. We heard that you could recycle those things, and so those items get recycled. The parents call us back. They're like, I want to recycle. So the neighborhood depositories are great information to know about. Look for your nearest neighborhood depository so you can take your tires and also your recycling.
Wonderful. Desmond, do you want to make a comment about what's important really quickly?
Yes, we are here. We do educate. We do get your request. Feel free to call 311 at any time if you guys need anything. We'll be more than happy to respond.
Thank you, guys. Great job. I appreciate it. Did you know that Community Outreach Division of the Solid Waste Management Department has been around since 2007? Now, this division was created by the former director and the now current director with you in mind. Our Community Outreach Division reaches out to the community via corporate presentations, health fairs, civic associations, school presentations, home ownership association meetings, and more. To invite us to give you a presentation at your next event, call 311. Make a request for solid waste community outreach. Keep watching. We'll be right back. I've spoken to our Community Outreach Division individually, and now it's time to bring us all together so you can see our small but dynamic team. As you already know, I'm Sharon Moses, and in addition to being the host of the show, I'm a senior community liaison in the Community Outreach Group. Now, each one of us has a different job, but we work very well together as a small but efficient cog in the solid waste wheel that just keeps on turning. Thanks everybody for being on the show. I'm so glad to see you all.
Thank you.
So, Elise, what's it like to work with such a dynamic and diverse team?
It's awesome because we have so many different kinds of things that we do. I did not get a chance to mention that we work very closely with the Mayor's Office of Special Events. For all of the events that the Mayor's Office sponsors, particularly the 4th of July event, the marathon, the bike-a-thon, our group is responsible for coordinating the trash and recycling for all of those kinds of events. Javier and Desmond have been key in making those things happen the last 2 years. We also provide for citizens signs. We have yard waste signs that advertise when the junk waste day is, the tree waste day, even when your recycling or garbage day is. Those are free. You can get those by calling 311. We have a certain number that we can give at one time, and they come in Spanish and English. So I would encourage people to share that information. We can help residents get their neighborhoods on track for their trash and recycling collection days.
That's excellent. I see these signs back here, and I just kind of want to look at them. There's one in English and there's one in Spanish. There's great props, Elise. Thanks for bringing those in. So that's good so that the public can see that that's also something that we do. Who gets those signs out to the community? How do we mail them? What happens to that? Javier, you can answer that.
We all get the SRs, or the service requests, through 311, and we deliver them. We personally deliver them in our vehicle. We'll drive to your home and place them wherever. If you're home, we'll give them to you, or we'll place them in front of your home, your door.
So Desmond, you've been here, and thank you for being on the show today. You've done an excellent job.
Thank you.
What do you think about this whole entire group, and how do you think we work well together? Do you think we mix, we match? What?
I love our staff. I love being brought on to the staff that we have. I have a great boss in Miss Elise Coffey, as well as you two guys. I love working with you guys. It's truly been a blessing to be able to come. I am the newest member of the staff,
right.
So I had to kind of fit in place, and it's definitely been perfect. It's definitely worked well.
Elise, you said you have 4 members. What's that 4th member? I think we have a new position that's been added to the department.
We have a new position that's been added to the department, and that person was unavailable to be here today with us. Her name is Sandra Jackson.
Okay.
But Sharon, you haven't had an opportunity to talk about what you do in community outreach. Why don't you share with us?
So I get a few questions. Well, I'm a community liaison. I work well with you guys. I think I've been in this department now for 8 years. And it's a lot longer than I thought I'd be here, but it's been fun. I go out and give the presentations to the children at the schools, and I think Javier and Desmond, you guys have kind of come along with me on that. My favorite part, I think, are the corporate presentations. I go out to the community as well and do corporate presentations, speak at civic association meetings as well. And some of our jobs, I think, overlap. Don't you guys think? Like, there are times when you're taking out signs and I'm taking out signs. And one thing I don't do the tires. That's always been, I think, your baby, and now with Desmond coming in, Desmond does tires. But I kind of am the voice for the community as far as the public speaking. I do a lot of that, and that's been really, really a great position for me. And of course, I host this show, which that's been a fun thing to do. So I kind of get involved with you guys on many levels. I also answer SRs. So a service request that will come into the department, I have to read and send out flyers as well and send that information out.
Now, we have these green recycling cards, and we just finished rolling out the expansion for recycling, meaning citywide, we have now these. What was your role during the rollout?
Wow, during the rollout, that was fun. I think we were all out there. Desmond was here with us, and we actually helped the community get their carts put curbside. And we worked, can I say 12, 14-hour days? Elise, is it okay to say we did that 6 days a week? Tell me now, stop me now.
You're good.
I need to know.
You're good.
But we worked really hard for 6 weeks getting that out. And we were all in the field in our scrubs, or whatever you want to call it, our street scrubs, jeans, and relating, contacting, talking to, touching the community. And I think that's what we do in very different ways, but dynamically very different ways, in the sense that we still work differently, but we work well together. For instance, I don't do tires, I haven't done them, but I do the speeches, and then you can come over and do the speeches, and then you translate and do it in Spanish. And Desmond does the cleanups, and then he does the dumpsters, but then he also does the signs, and we all kind of work kind of swimmingly together. So at least that's me talking, though. What do you think about your team?
Oh, I love my team. I think we're awesome. I think each of the members of the team brings a different talent and a different skill. Yeah. And we have managed to work among us at everyone's skill level. So everyone is comfortable doing what they're doing. And when you're comfortable, you do a much better job. I think we've managed to keep everyone happy, doing what they're doing, and also open to the changes that we have to be flexible about in terms of policy and procedure, and also open to looking at things differently. For instance, when we're talking about the presentations you do for corporate, you're always open to us giving you some new ideas or a different way to add to that presentation to make it a little bit more snappy. When we talk about the children's things, if we had a yes-no kind of game going on, and so we're trying to figure out how to incorporate that yes-no information regarding recycling to those presentations we do in the community at the civic associations. So I'm extremely happy with how well we all work together.
See, and I know in the summertime when we go, we get to wear our shorts You know, we're out with the kids and teaching them about recycling. You know, that type of thing is what I think is really important for the community. Teaching them from the ground up. Like one of you guys were saying earlier that we didn't teach, we teach recycling to the children. I think it was you, Javier. They take it home, and each one teaches one, and we've reached the community that way. Yeah. I want to thank all of you for coming out to the show today.
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure. Glad to see us working together. I like this. This is good. Thanks for watching this episode of Wasting No Time. If you have questions, as always, please call us at 311 or visit our website at www.houstonsolidwaste.org. And remember, Facebook and Twitter, they're great ways to keep in touch. So you can find us on Facebook at Houston Solid Waste and on Twitter at Houston Trash. I'm Sharon Moses, and this is Wasting No Time with my group, Community Outreach. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.